All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a new comic. Well, probably new for you or not. This is Mutant X issue number 1 from Marvel Comics from 1998. And this is a story, wraparound cover, by the way. This is a story about Alex Summers, and he is an alternate reality. And I picked this up, because, back in the day, I bought a lot of comics. Some good, some bad, mostly good, unfortunately. And I was always interested more in solo stuff from Alex because I think Alex, just like Henry Pym, he's always be the little engine that could or something. Is that how you express it? There's always, I don't know, he's always playing second fiddle to his brother, Scott Summers, right? And I believe he was also a lackey of Goblin Queen, and it was really weird. I don't know. It's just so I picked this up and I thought, you know what? Maybe I get to know this character a little bit better, and I have some fun with it. To be honest, this is Tom Raney's art, by the way. That's in the book, but unfortunately, he's not a steady artist, and there's some artists that I think, oh man, it's not really looking good. But hey, without further ado, let's dive in, and you can basically read what's going on and what happened here if you pause the video. And this is what happened in the X Factor. I don't have that book, but it seems that he died or not. And I'm not sure he was a good guy or a bad guy, but he's now, I don't know, between time and space. And before I go a little bit further, there was, the time and place when the multiverse luckily didn't exist, and that when we see alternate realities like the what if stories, right? It was fun and exciting, and something fresh and new. But since the multiverse, I don't know, man, nothing matters. Anyway, so we see Scott Summers. He's the leader of the Six, and these are variations. Is that how you say it? Nowadays, of the X-Men. Some familiar, maybe. Mostly familiar, but all right, let's go through the story. So we have some Sentinels that looks, I don't know, like zombies, and Scott Summers is driving the team on. We have the Fallen here, who is Angel or Warren Worthington the Third, and he's strong. He can fly, he has sharp talons, and he has flame breath. We have Iceman here. And we have Hank McCoy, the Beast, but this version of the Beast is different. And he also suffered from, well, I'm not sure, but he's losing an intelligence, by the way. And it was a storyline before he, in the OG timeline, where he was just Hank McCoy, the Beast, without his furry stuff, furry skin. That's what I wanted to say. There was also a storyline that he's losing an intelligence, so probably there's more something like that, right? And who's the writer, by the way? Howard Mackie, Tom Raney, and Andrew Pepoy. All right, that's the team. We have Madeline Pryor, what is it, the duplicate? Or, someone that really looks like her. I forget basically, but she was she looks like Jean Grey. There was a storyline that Jean Grey died, and Scott Summers fell in love with this woman. And then he dumped her because Jean Grey came back to life. It was a mess. Anyway, we have Bloodstorm. He was bitten by Dracula, and Bloodstorm is actually a really cool character in my opinion. And they're fighting these Sentinels, and but then one of the Sentinels, trying to kill Madeline Pryor here, and Scott takes the blast and falls into the river. And then this is happening. Now, I'm not sure this is his soul or his spirit or whatever he is, but he's basically, mingled with the body of Alex Summers in this reality, and he became now the dominant consciousness. So I'm not sure if the Alex Summers of this reality died, he took over and then came back to life again, or that he is just maybe suppressing the consciousness of this version of Alex Summers in this reality. Do not know. So, but then he wakes up and he says, "Hey, what's going on? And who are you supposed to be?" And says, so Bloodstorm says, "Hey, Alex, are you all right? You look concerned." "Yeah, I'm concerned. Who are you people supposed to be, and how did I get here? So he cannot remember, but Madeline says, well, we pulled you from the water. You almost died. He says, get away from me, he says. He doesn't buy it. He says, it's me, Alex, your wife, Maddie. We are the six. And he says, no, this is some kind of elaborate ruse. Somebody's playing with my head again. Who is it? Arcade? The Shadow King? It's not going to work. Not this time. And then he's powering up, and people forget that he's really strong, right? And then he shoots a sentinel that sneaks up on him, saving the day. But then the Fallen comes in and he says, hey, Alex, you saved us from that sentinel, but your powers are out of control. The rest of the team are too kind-hearted to do what obviously needs to be done to prevent you from harming yourself or anyone else. But as you know, compassion is not one of my current faults. And he knocks him out. And then he comes back at, in the laboratory of Hank McCoy. And Hank is waiting for him. And Hank is, he's a nice guy, right? He is, but he admits that he was building this laboratory before he experimented on himself and then became, the brute. That's how they call him here. And he can now, breathe on the water. He has also these hooves. And, Alex recognized there was something wrong with him. And he says, hey, let's pretend I can't remember anything. Can you show me the whole place? You want to do that, Hank? Sure, Alex, I can. I still remember some things, you see, he says. More ads. This is a fake book, by the way. So it seems that they are in, I believe, I'm not sure if this is an island, but this is called Bannerman's Castle. Not sure if that's related to, Bruce Banner. And it seems that Hank here has invented some kind of a machine that, make fog and so that people cannot, see this castle and they think it's haunted and all that stuff, right? All right. But then he says, hey, can you tell me more about the X-Man? And he says, yeah, that's funny, Alex. You calling Magneto after what happened in South America? I thought you were going to kill each other. So yeah, everything in this universe is different, right? Here, friends are enemies and the other way around. And there's also some Fantastic Four stuff that's come on because I read this once many, many years ago. And I remember something between the Invisible Woman and Alex here. And it's we're going to reveal that a little bit later, right? But you can probably figure that out. Anyway, the Fallen comes here and he is basically scaring and also intimidating Hank here. And then Maddie comes in. And she's very happy that her husband is, alive and well, and they have a son, right? And she says to the Fallen, hey, can we have a moment here? And she says, well, this guy creeps me out. And I don't like being like Scotty being around him. Scotty? Yeah, they have a son called Scotty. And she says, Alex, please don't do this. It's not funny. That look in your eyes. So he thinks, well, maybe I should play along, right, for now. And she says, hey, I'm still shaking up from what happened back then. Everything is so fuzzy. How about you clue me in on things and start at the beginning? All right. So they talk about, stuff. And she says, where's the rest of the team, Maddie? Well, they're around. You know how pensive everyone gets between missions. Missions? What kind of missions? So, and then they have some fun here with Iceman and Hank. Sometimes Hank is so innocent, it's hard to believe how dangerous he can be. So Iceman comes in and says, hey, how are you feeling? Never better, Bobby. Can't wait to get back into to the thick of things. So he wants to shake his hand. He says, no, what are you doing? And Madeline says, you really don't remember, do you? So Bobby explains that he's been, Loki did something to his powers. So without his protective suit on, he could, his powers out of control and he's freezing everyone around it, right? And so she says, I give you something to remember. She kisses him. More ads. And so this is a little bit recap that he was the only survivor of this plane crash. His father and, his brother Scott died. He became the leader of the X-Men. And you were raised in an orphanage. Charles Xavier took you in. And then we see what happened to all of these characters. Loki, with Iceman, Dracula, Storm, and even Warren being transformed by, why am I blanking? Apocalypse. And then, he is becoming a way different person. So he says then, Scott is dead. We have a son. Magneto is running the X-Men. What about Lorna? So Lorna, is I'm not sure. Yeah, in this timeline she wasn't the daughter of Magneto, or is she now? I don't remember. Anyway, so it seems that Iceman had a fling with her. It was also in the original timeline that they there was some kind of a freeway, let's say, between Lorna, Iceman, and Havok. It was fun. And she says he's joined Magneto. It's all close but wrong. So he's, doesn't really get what's going on. So Bloodstone comes in. He says, we have a problem. SHIELD terrorists are finally making another move against mutants. They have overtaken Liberty Island. So she says, we need to get out in 2 minutes. It seems that her son went to that Liberty Island with her nanny, right? So they need to go there really as quickly as possible. And then we go to Nick Fury. He was a bad guy in here. I tried to tell them, but they wouldn't listen. I was labeled a bigot and a warmonger and tossed out. But I am here today to tell you, the world, that Nick Fury is a patriot. Not to any flag, but humanity itself. The world has got to know, weird. That the human race will not go quietly into the night while sentinels, mutants, and all the other super freaks takes what it's ours. So he's planning a bomb with a virus called the Legacy virus that affects superhumans, right? So she said unless they get out of the city between now and 24 hours, it's gonna blow up. Then the 6 is coming, and they're releasing the Mandroids. I love the Mandroids. They were yellow in the original timeline. All right. So, and then we have, what is this? Snake. Metal Gear Solid, Vanessa. And so he's giving a speech. And they're having a fight, right? Okay. But then seems that the Mandroids are pretty powerful and the 6 are getting their asses kicked. Only Maddie and Havok is staying around, up and fighting the SHIELD. Is it SHIELD? Who knows? Anyway, so Maddie's a little bit pissed off and she says, I want my son. But then Havok says something that triggers Maddie. Calm down, Maddie. We get your son, but we got to do by the numbers. My son! Are you still throwing that up in my face? I'm not going to let them take him from me again. I've been through too much to lose him again. I'm his mother. I am the Goblin Queen. If you don't want to help Alex, then stand back. I have no time to cuddle you. So she's being more transformed now, and Alex says, wow, they're falling back before her attack. Madeline Pryor was never this powerful, but the Goblin Queen, she's losing it. All right, so the Fallen comes back, stronger than ever, because he's been rallying them, right? And so he says, they had me going for a minute, says Alex. I got suckered into a fight and fought alongside with them, but I'm still not convinced that this is some sort of psychodrama or massive hallucinations playing out in my head. Now I don't know which side I take. But then Fury comes in. You turn it around for now, Mutie. But it looks like your man Havok is running tail. Maybe he is ready to see you little mutant die. Commandos, kill the boy. Uh-oh. But then the nanny comes here, and it's none other than Elektra. And Elektra is Elektra, right? She's a good combatant. And so the 6 is taking then, the fight over from here. So Maddie says, back off, Fury. Leave the boy alone, and I won't boil your blood within your veins. So, but then he says, this can't be happening, not to me. I'm Nick Fury. I'm not going to stop by a bunch of muties and a 2-bit Greek ninja. Now it's over. The boy dies, and I release the legacy virus. Goodbye, mutie. Good. And then he's been shot in the back by Alex, and Alex says, while everyone else is trying to kill each other, I fried your bombs. Interesting how viruses die when you're exposed to extreme heat, isn't it? Guess the mutants win this day again. So he says, hey, can we send Hank down? And she says, no, he'll live. They always live. Thank Daddy for saving your life, Scotty. No, Mama, I don't wanna. I wanna go home. Now. Uh-oh. What's going on? So later, I promise you, Alex, everything is going to be fine. You are Alex Summers, my husband's and Scotty's dad. the leader of the Six. You know that inside, or you wouldn't have stepped in at exactly the right moment. You just need a few days rest. The sooner things get back to normal, the better. Look, why don't you tuck Scotty in, like you always do? So he comes in, and he says, hey guys, Scotty, it's me, Daddy. Don't call me Dad. What's the matter, son? Don't call me Dad. Scott, what's wrong? Come over here and talk. So he touches him, and then he sees a flashback of what happened in his own reality, and he says, what are you doing to me? Wait, I remember. Greystone, the time displacement machine. There was an explosion, and then I remember dying. You aren't my daddy. You're from somewhere else. I want my daddy back now. And that leads us to the next issue. Now, this was a really fun one. There was, like I said, there was a time when you go into other universes and people have an adventures there and you want to know what's going on because everyone is different. Anyone is behaving differently. It was fun. And that's why I'm, showcasing this. That is another cool Marvel character getting his own series. And it's actually, although the art is not really up to snuff sometimes, the stories were really fun, in my opinion. But, it's been a long time, so we're going to figure that out also. So if you want to have some S.H.I.E.L.D. files, you can, if you pause the video, read this. And I must say, I don't like the lettering. It's just, a wall of text in front of me. So, yeah, but, maybe she's called Marvel Woman, by the way. And we have Bloodstorm. And we have The Fallen. And we have, of course, the Brute here. And Iceman. All right, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about it. See you next time. Bye-bye.